Alrighty, guys. So we are back for Brew Talks. I guess that's what the name of this is. Episode 2. We recorded one maybe about like a month ago by now, or whenever. Like the first time we went golfing, or second time when we hit the range the first time.
Yeah. So,
but
second time?
Yeah, second time. All right, guys. So we got some brewskis. We're gonna, I guess, review today. We're gonna have a little bit of a different format. So we're each gonna drink one beer that we choose to like bring and try that we haven't really drank before. Rate it ourselves. And then we're going to split the last one and, see if our opinion's the same on it and just rate it. So, yeah.
Completely forgot. I'm uncultured. Oh, okay.
God damn it, do it.
God damn it.
God fucking damn it. All right, so as a Steelers fan, and since they're 10-0, I feel like I got to bring this question up. Can they go undefeated this season?
Here's a question that we're all dying to know.
The Ravens game was supposed to happen this past Thursday. Got postponed to tomorrow, and then now it's postponed to Tuesday. Lamar officially has COVID. J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram have COVID. And I'm not going to lie, this is the one game I was worried about that could break our streak. But now that all this is coming out, I think they're going to be easy dub. The game won't be as hyped now that it's delayed to Tuesday. If it were like a primetime Thursday night fucking Thanksgiving game. But, I mean, what can you really do? If Pittsburgh does beat the Ravens, which they will, their season's going to come down to 2 games, in which 2 games that they could lose. I think the rest of the season's a sweet, like Cincy, Washington, Browns, fuck those teams. But we still do have the Bills and the Colts after the Ravens. Both teams, I think, are better than the Ravens. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, both those games are going to be good-ass games. I think I think the Bills one's a primetime game. But, yeah, I've been more worried about those teams than the Ravens. And overall, like, we do have, in my opinion, the best defense in the league, even though currently the NFL says that the Colts have the best defense in the league, which is, arguable. But our offense, we're just so stacked that, like, we have Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Juju, James Washington, James Conner. Like, in terms of just running and passing, we have such a well-rounded offense. Benny Snell's a dog. He's so young, too. But, yeah, Ben just has so many options to work with, so many weapons on the field and our defense is just amazing. I mean, this is the best Steelers team I think I've ever experienced in my life, honestly. Like, no cap. And this is the best start we've ever had to a season. I don't think we've ever gone 10-0 before, so I could really see a Kansas City Steelers AFC Championship. I would love for them to play in the playoffs at some point, but yeah.
So, Ravens are losing this game. I mean, Lamar has COVID. Like, you really think RG3 is about to
Their
do
rushing
anything?
game is Gus Edwards is going to be the whole rush game.
I started him.
Lamar, I mean, yeah, man, he really needed to show up. First of all, Lamar can't even fucking pull off big win games. He lost to the Titans. All these teams he's been losing to this year, he hasn't won a big game yet. He really hasn't. They're like 6-4, dude. Come on.
Who did they get knocked out in the playoffs last year? Was it Titans?
The Titans. And this year, they were winning. I mean, they had a good game against the Titans, but of course it came down to overtime.
And they lost, yeah.
By field goal, yeah. Like, come on, yeah. But, yeah, it just seems like Lamar's kind of fallen off. It seems like he's still a good player, but teams are definitely starting to figure out how to shut his ass down and not let him really run with the ball or do as much and force more turnovers, which is good.
So I would say this coming from the 2015-2016 season where the Panthers lost to the Falcons unbelievably in week 14 or 15. I would say that when it comes to being undefeated, it's always the weird like matchups where you think, oh, they're going to dub. That some crazy thing happens, like, oh, they end up losing or they end up committing a lot of turnovers. For me personally, the Steelers are better than that 2015-2016 Panthers team because their defense is better, and their defense is what wins you championships. Whereas, with the Panthers, we just had a really good quarterback that was dynamic that year. So going forward from that, I feel like the schedule, they're going to beat the Ravens, obviously. They have Washington next. I mean, Washington is one of those teams that you can never count them out, even though it's like a 99.9% chance to lose. Sometimes they pull some weird stuff. So I feel like they'll probably win Washington. Bills is a bit tougher, but from what it looks like, is the game at Steelers or at Ravens this Tuesday?
That's Steelers.
Okay, then. So when they play the Bills, it's at the Bills. So that's kind of debatable in a sense that Ben will probably have a lot
He's
of
going to have to figure out how to throw the ball in Buffalo. Hopefully it's not like a freezing cold day. Hopefully it's not really windy, but that's going to be probably the toughest game of the year, in my opinion.
Originally, I had my bet that if they were going to lose a game, it would be to the Bengals or the Browns, but since obviously Joe Burrow got injured, there's not even a chance that they're going to lose to the Bengals. They'll beat the Bengals. The Colts, that's going to be a matchup of the defenses, which is really interesting.
That's going to be both of those, Bills and Colts, will both be very defensive games. Those are all great defenses.
They beat all those teams, and then they have to play the Browns. There's a good chance they'll beat the Browns, but there's always that added pressure because you're about to be 16-0. If you win that game, you're going nuts. I mean, think about Moneyball, even the movie.
And the thing is, too, like, if Kansas City manages to lose, like, a game or two until then, and we have a couple games on them rather than just one game, like one win, then I wouldn't be surprised if, like, we say, you know what, let's just throw in Mason Rudolph against the Browns. If we lose, we lose. I mean, we still have the bye week. As long as we secure that first bye week, I don't think they're going to be too concerned on going undefeated rather than just resting our starters the last couple weeks before it's time for playoffs.
Moneyball, even the team was like 19-0. They're trying to go 20-0. They're up 11-0, and they still almost fumble that last part until Hattenberg hits the home run. So that's the thing. Like, you always have that added pressure no matter the sport.
Yeah.
So that's the only worry I have. But they have a very good chance. I give them about a 70% chance of winning the rest of their games, at least.